Hey, what's going on, guys? Andrew here, back at you with another video, and yeah, this is my 31 days. I'm actually already behind. I promise I actually will not get behind again. I'm actually going to record quite a few videos at one time, and so that's gonna like help me to stay ahead of the game here. I actually am not pre-recording any of these. I try to actually record them the day of, but it's sometimes life happens. Yesterday I figured a podcast, like our podcast, wouldn't go as long and ended up going way longer, and so that was a thing. So there was that, and then also it just life, but. Yeah, up for today, day 2 is The Raven. I said this in day 1. This is a interesting film. This basically is telling the final 7 days of Edgar Allan Poe's life. The mystery behind his death. This presents one of those. Actually, it kind of figures all of them in, but it mainly tells one of them. Now, there's 3 different, I remember hearing in the commentary, there's 3 different versions or like tales of, folk tales of his death. One that he got rabies and died. One was that he was poisoned. The third one is that he drank himself to death. All of these are mystery, like his death records have been lost. It's a mystery as to what actually happened. He was found delusional in the streets and died. I know that his last words, like his last sentences, he kept saying Reynolds over and over, and then his last words were, "May God have mercy on my poor soul." That was his final words. But this basically, like, you're introduced to like his love and like his love interest and the father. Edgar Allan Poe is played by John Cusack here, and you see, I cannot remember his name for the life of me, but the father, Brendan Gleeson, is there. Luke Evans is also in this film, who also is Gaston from the 2017 Beauty and the Beast. Very, very lively character in this as well. The one thing I can say about this film is it's entertaining. It's an hour and like 46 minutes without credits, and it's very, very entertaining, an hour and 40 some minutes, but it's, I'm never bored by this film. It was really, really interesting, his love and like, trying to find this mysterious like killer who's killing people, which that's kind of the main plot, is like people are dying by ways of which they died in Edgar Allan Poe's books. So you have like, you'll have people dying by a pendulum. Different ways. Now I do have some pretty negatives on this film. I don't know whether or not, I'd have to recheck this, of whether or not it was supposed to be shot in 3D. But if not, there's the pendulum death that I just mentioned has some really, really bad CGI in it, like really bad. It's very noticeable. But honestly, it's very grisly. It doesn't really cut away from violence in this film, so that's one thing. The other thing, I wouldn't necessarily give this the horror nod because it's not meant to be scary. It's not meant to be overly brutal. It just, the deaths are more like the driving force for the mystery of it. It's more of a mystery, not even really a thriller. It's more just like a mystery crime drama. That's very dark, obviously, dealing with these very brutal deaths and stuff, but it has some horror elements for sure. But yeah, it's a really solid watch, to be honest. I find the characters all interesting. I find very well shot, very beautiful. If I were to give this a score, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. It's a very solid watch. It just has some negatives there with the bad CG. Just good stuff. I wish they would have went more in depth with Edgar Allan Poe's like characteristics. It just tells like one part of the story. This would be a really good like segue into telling like a biographical story of Edgar Allan Poe's life in narrative form and on screen. That'd be interesting to see. But This was fine for what it was. I really enjoyed it. Thought it was really good. But yeah, that's going to do it all for today, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Actually, I'll be having another review coming in like less than 12 hours, and that will be for Audition. Yeah, hopefully you enjoy that review also. So yeah, thanks guys for tuning in, and catch you here in a couple hours. Peace.